This is the Infatuasian podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. This week's episode is not completely on brand with our podcast. It's a little different. We're going to talk about dating. We thought it'd be fun to do a little Valentine special by asking guests over the last few months some questions about dating preferences and dating styles and opinions. And so we put it all together on a recording, and I invited a few of my podcast buddies to sit in and listen to these recordings and maybe give their opinions as well. And overall, I thought it turned out pretty fun and interesting. So I hope that you enjoy this episode. I want to give an emphatic warning today. There are a lot of unbleeped swear words and content that may not be appropriate for your workplace or for your children. So please use your discretion and maybe turn down the volume or grab a pair of headphones just in case. So you've been warned, but we hope you enjoy this episode. It's all in fun, so don't take it too seriously. And as usual, thank you so much for listening. Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. And in honor of Valentine's Day, we're going to be talking about dating, especially first dates. And so we've been planning the show for months. So what I did is when I had guests on, I would record them after the session. If they had time, I would record them. And so I actually only recorded about 9 people. But we're calling this episode 15 First Dates because 9 plus, we have 4 people here, so that's going to be 13. So it's really 13 first dates, but I thought it was catchier to say 15 first dates. So we'll go with that. And since no one wants to hear a 50-year-old talk about dating, I have brought along some friends. They are from all over the world. We are on 3 different continents and 3 different time zones. So you'll hear some familiar voices for you guys. Let's see. I'll introduce Julia first. We have Julia from Sydney, Australia. Hey, Jules, how's it going?
Hi. Nice to be here.
You're wearing tank top again, so every time we record, it's like winter over here and summer over there.
Yeah.
So you guys are like right in the middle of summer. Is it like 25 degrees, 40 degrees?
It's over 30 degrees Celsius. So I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it is hot down here.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us again. You guys know Julia is one of the co-hosts from the Asian Soup podcast, which you can find wherever you're listening to this. And she's been on before. We talked a little pachinko before, so you guys should know Julia. And sitting next to Julia is her co-host, Roxanne. Hey, Rox.
Hey, everyone. Hey, Curtis. Happy to be here today.
Welcome back. This is your 3rd time as well. We did a fashion episode.
Yes, we did.
About a year ago as well. So Rox is an old friend of the program. Anything new going? I saw a new tank top design from Kinmade.
Yes, thank you for noticing. We have a new dress and a new tank top at Kinmade. That's one of my other hobbies aside from the podcast, just a sustainable women's wear label.
So things are going well with them? You're doing new designs every so often, just rolling them out?
Yeah, we're planning to do a lot more this year, so watch that space.
Keep your eyes open. Available where? You can get it in Hong Kong, Australia.
You can mainly shop online at kinmade.co. Self-plug in there.
No problem. And you'll ship anywhere? You'll ship to the States?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So everyone out there, you can get stuff. Go to, what was it, kinmade.co?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, go check them out. And thanks for coming along, both of you. And coming all the way from Singapore is our good friend, the mysterious Teddy Teo, host of a Briefcase podcast. Welcome back, Teddy.
Hi, Curtis, and hi, Infatuasian friends. It's me again.
She's back. Yeah. So we had fun talking true crime last time. So Teddy does a true crime podcast out of Singapore where she talks about Asian true crime. Crimes about Asians by Asians, right?
Crimes about Asians by Asians. We stretch it sometimes to crimes by Asians not in Asian countries. Why not? Hot on we just want an Asian in your crime.
Any kind of Asian in your crime. All right. Yeah, I just listened to a naughty episode by you, the naughty episode.
Oh, naughty Singaporeans. Naughty, a little bit repressed here.
Yeah, a little bit about pornography and the scandals of the small little place called Singapore. But thanks for coming back on, Teddy.
Thanks, Curtis. Always glad to be here.
It's going to be fun. Hey, is Valentine's Day a thing in Singapore and Australia? Is it like a big holiday or non-holiday, or is it only an American thing? I don't even know.
I would say generally yes, because Singapore is really quite a capitalist country. You know what I mean? But like the Dubai of Southeast Asia, I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah, and Valentine's Day is a capitalist holiday. Not saying it's the worst thing in the world, but like I 100% buy into it. I love getting flowers. I don't know if you guys like getting flowers. I love getting flowers and I love dressing up because, you know, I feel cute. But I also like sneaking around because me and Ruben, we live in a 1-bedroom apartment. So I have to sneak around with his present and like hide it. So it's really fun.
All right. So you got plans. I don't have to give it away here, but you got plans for the big day?
Well, I hope he has plans for the big day. I have like a gift.
So you expect a little more than you is it a little more of the guy's responsibility to take care of Valentine's Day?
It's a little bit of a sexist holiday, I would say. Like I will get to be taken out and you get a present and the privilege of my company atmosphere model.
Yeah, there you go. How about in Australia? Is it a thing in Australia?
Yeah, I definitely think it's a thing here in Australia. Personally myself, I don't really celebrate it, but as I'm getting older, like into my 30s, I am appreciating it a little bit more. Like, a bunch of flowers, can never hurt. So I feel like I'm evolving as well, but I definitely think Valentine's Day is a pretty big thing here. Yeah. Would you agree?
Yeah, I definitely, you see more roses at the florist and, I think it is a bit of a sexist holiday too. It's more, man giving the girl some flowers and taking them out. Dinner places are all booked out, so you better book right now. Which is
I'm actually a fan of going out on the 13th or the 15th. The sentiment is the same, but you can get an easier reservation. It's a lot easier to get into the restaurants.
Yeah.
And so, Viv doesn't seem to care. So we used to go either day before or day after just to avoid all the crowds and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, it's like whatever works for you guys. Like I heard of one couple who always goes to McDonald's as like a Valentine's Day tradition. And I just thought that was the cutest thing ever. So we did that once as well. Like we were like, let's have McDonald's on Valentine's Day because it just feels a little bit like you're going against the tradition, but it's still, you're doing something. Yeah. Really depends on the couple, I'll say.
Yeah.
Actually, Jules, I don't know if you know this, but I did an episode on Korean food, and they shared that like 2/14 is the day that girls confess to guys, and then 3/14, March 14th, is when the guys confess to girls, and then 4/14 is Singles Day, where you wear all black. If you're single, you wear all black, and then you go eat jjajangmyeon. You go eat black bean noodle.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's which way, like who confesses to who, but I know that there's Valentine's Day and the month later it's White Day. So it's like the other way around. And then Black Day, which is where you go eat jjajangmyeon. You're correct. Yeah.
I like it. I love it. I think we should bring that to America.
Yes.
All right. So let's go ahead and get started. What we're going to do today is I'm going to play you some of the sound clips from the interviews that I did with these other folks. And just to let the audience out there know, you'll remember these episodes. So I interviewed Carrie, Lisa, and Ben from our Korean food episode. I interviewed Adam. Adam is a fisherman from Die Hard Fishing YouTube channel. And I interviewed Jenny, Brandon, and Andy from the Pocha Playlist Korean drama podcast. And also on that podcast was my friends Nadira from Brisbane, Australia, and also Jennifer from San Francisco. So here we go. So I'm going to play these and then you guys are going to react. So the first question, hey Ben, on a first date, who decides who pays?
I think it should be the guy. It should always be the guy,
Are you sort of old fashioned? Are you in that way?
Yeah, I know. I don't know what people's public perception is of me, but I wholeheartedly believe that as men, it is our duty to protect women. We gotta take care of them. That's
right.
what I feel.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, women deal with so much of our shit, and it's just so hard being a woman. They have to wear makeup, they have to wear heels.
They gotta have babies.
They gotta have babies. So it's like, we gotta be good to our women. So yeah, the least you can do, guys, is pay the fucking bill. All right, be a gentleman.
Okay. All right, Lisa, what do you think?
The one that initiates the date.
Oh, okay, so if you ask someone out, then you're gonna pay. If they ask you out, then they should pay.
Yeah, I think whoever initiates it. But, it really depends on how the date goes, I feel like. I personally am someone that don't like owing people stuff. So it's like, if I don't feel it, let's split because I don't want to see you again.
You don't want any attachment. Yeah, no strings attached.
Yeah.
Got it. Carrie, what do you think? If you go on a first date, who should pay?
Our culture, like back in Asia. So, in Korea and China or Hong Kong, I think guy pays.
Okay, yeah, nothing wrong with that.
There's no question about
Okay, no problem. If you go on, now you've been married for a while, but if you go on a first date, who do you think should pay? Or do you remember who paid on the first date with you and your wife?
So I paid on their first date. Yeah, that was a long time ago. But it seems like I feel like whoever invites the other person, if that even happens.
I think that's a good rule. I think that's a good
rule. Yeah, I know like traditionally the guy pays for whatever, but I feel like nowadays it's kind of it could go either way.
No, I think so.
Or even split it too.
I think
I'm not dating anymore, so right. I'm out of the game.
I'm way out of the game.
I tell my friends I'm a dating coach now. I have a lot of friends that are out.
All right, yeah. No, that's what this whole episode is going to be, is like advice for people. Jennifer, when you go on a first date, who decides to pay, or how do you decide who pays?
Well, I've had both situations where in one situation, the guy asked to split. So I was okay with it. And then I've had another situation where the guy offered to pay and I also allowed that. I think it's nice to be treated, but I don't expect it. Like, it's not a deal breaker for me if the guy does not pay for my part.
Do you mention it before you sit down? You say, oh, by the way, can we split this? Or do you just kind of wait till the bill comes?
Oh, no, we always wait until the bill comes.
Oh, yeah. Well, add a little sense of drama. Okay.
Yeah. So I've never had someone at the very start say, hey, can we split this? It's always at the end when the bill comes.
But you wouldn't care?
No, I've never been like, hey, I've never at the start of the meal been like, hey, you should pay.
What if he says, oh, we're going to this really expensive place, and then that you're not really interested in, but then at the end he goes, oh, by the way, we're splitting this.
If I wasn't interested in it, then I would ask to go somewhere else where I wanted to go. Yeah, to begin with.
Okay, yeah. All right. Brandon, what about you? Who decides who's going to pay, or how do you decide who's going to pay on a first date?
Well, I guess sometimes it would depend on who initiated the date. But as a general rule of thumb for me, I would just say guy always pays on the first and second date.
Yeah. Okay.
But just to add some commentary on what Jen said, like, I would never take someone to like a Michelin star restaurant on the first date where it's like ridiculous,
It's trying a little too hard.
Yeah. Like, I think all my dates have been like $1 or $2 signs on Yelp for the first date. Like you have to get to like date 5 or 6 and then you'll get to the $3 sign ones.
Yeah. I think 2 is a good zone to be in. I think 1 is a little, you're taking your chances. You're going to like a hot dog stand or something.
Yeah. But yeah, my answer is first and second date guy pays.
Okay. All right. Now, third date, it's anything goes, or you've already established a pattern here, or
a third date is when I'll accept if the girl offers to pay. But that's more of a test. It's like, did you offer by the third date?
But if you enter in a relationship, do you expect 50-50?
No. Jenny and I don't really do 50-50.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Okay. How about you, Nadira?
I always assume that we pay our own for the first few first dates. In saying that, I've been married for such a long time, I don't think, it still applies my assumption. I don't know.
Yeah, you're going back to like the 90s. What did we do in the 90s? All right, so those are their answers. Any of those answers shock you, or do you disagree with?
I think it was pretty okay. I was like, ooh, first and second date. Now that's nice.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Yeah. And he was very clear about that was his rule. It has to be first and
but
second
then
date. After
that, when he said like, I'll see if she offers by the third date, I was like, it's a trap. It's a trap. Red flag, red flag.
How do you guys feel? Would you be okay with either way? Splitting, he pays, you pay, does it matter?
Like in Australia, do the guys generally offer? I do the thing where like if I don't like you, we'll split, and then if I like you, you can pay my way.
Yeah. But usually the guy offers.
Okay, so it's a trap. It's my trap. Do you offer? You have to offer. If you don't offer, we're not getting a second date because like we are fundamentally different.
Okay. Yeah. How about you, Rox?
I've had different situations, I guess. I always, even if it's first date, I think I still offer, but in my mind, I'm like assuming they're paying, I'm like,
yes.
But if I offer and you say sure, then that says something, right? So I'm doing a test. I'm doing a test, and then but if they just like, oh no, I've got this, like then great, like that's good, especially for a first and second date. I like that answer as well. Like first few dates, you're showing that, what do you call it? That intention,
chivalry.
Yeah.
If I went on a first date now, it was really hard for me to try and imagine like, what would it be like? But I think what Rox said, like, I'm cool with anything, but there's such thing as like tradition, and I feel unfortunately like the way it is now, like I feel like it's sort of expected that the guy should pay, just like when people get married, the groom walks down first and then the bride comes after, right? Like just some things are sort of like set, and I just feel like I can't help. I don't want to have to expect, but you kind of do. And I also know that the guy feels that too. So I don't want to like tap in, like I don't want to offend him saying, no.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't want to offend him. I want him to feel manly. And I don't know if that's right, but let him be the man he wants to be. So I kind of respect that as well. Yeah.
All right.
It's a little
Fair
like
enough.
dance.
It's weird. Yeah.
It's a weird.
I've definitely
there's a lot of traps.
Yeah, there's a lot of traps. Like I think at one stage I was like, okay, I'm just going to pay. And I secretly paid before, like when they went to the bathroom or something.
Oh.
And then I don't know, I just kind of wanted to show that I can take care of myself. But then it's not like that worked out or anything. It's just that I thought it would be like, I can pay for myself. I don't know why though. I don't know why I did that. Weird.
Did he mind, or was he cool?
He was fine with it, but it didn't work out.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Next one. Next question is: are there any red flags what is something that someone can do on a first date that would be a red flag for you? All right, here we go. What's a red flag that would make you say, no, we need to get out of here right now?
I don't have a major red flag. Well, actually, you have a turn on question. So instead of a red flag, I have more of a turn off. It's just if our sense of humor is really not jiving.
Okay.
Which I guess is a red flag, because I know it wouldn't work out then if our sense of humor doesn't work,
Yeah. Okay.
If I'm the only one asking questions.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. So that person's not even interested.
Or it's just like, are you able to continue the conversation, or am I the one putting in all the effort? Like, who's doing the heavy lifting here? Because I've been on a couple dates where it's all me heavy lifting, and I'm like, this takes too much energy.
Yeah, obviously not clicking at that point.
Mama's boy are always not.
If they listen to their mom too much.
I think there's a fine guideline between respecting your parents versus like just listening to everything they say. You will never have a good relationship in that terms.
Okay, yeah. Okay, got it.
Like the guy who using like phone a lot during eating or like whatever we are doing, but they're only focusing on the phone, like texting to friends or whatever it is, like just
stay on the phone. Like why did you even come out?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Sounds like my friend.
Oh, why?
Yeah, there's definitely some of this. Are there any red flags if you're out on a first date? Are there any red flags where you're going to say, no, let's get the check and let's get out of here?
If she's a total bitch to the waitstaff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I cannot stand that.
Yeah.
I'll literally stop her and like, I'll lecture her like a kid if I have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I would say eating too, I guess. I have one story. I was on a date with this chick and she's like, "Oh, I love Korean food." I'm like, "Oh, great." So we'll go eat, right? So we ordered jjajangmyeon and jampong. We didn't add that to the list, but jampong is like a spicy seafood noodle dish. Very, it's fucking fire. But if you don't like spicy, don't fuck with it. Dude, I kid you not. You know when pigs eat? When like when like they bring out like in the fucking box and shit, and they just go in. I swear to God, I saw her holding 2 chopsticks, bro. One in each hand, bro, just scarfing like, like, dude. I was like, I don't think she even offered me anything. And these bowls, my man, these bowls are fucking big, right? Let's be real. They're big ass bowls. And this chick is just fucking going to town on it. I'm like, oh my God, are you a refugee? Did you not eat? Like,
the first time you've ever eaten food?
So that kind of what it is. I think like there's like a certain etiquette. Sharing is important too, I think.
I mean, I like someone who likes to eat, but that's a little,
yeah, dude, it was like Jaws eating the boat, bro. That's how bad it was, man. Like shit. And I paid, and I still fucking paid, bro. Fuck.
So your rule number 1 came back to bite you,
bro. All I did was like I felt like I just fed the homeless. That's all I felt like. That's it.
Did you get a tax deductible receipt or anything out of that?
Yeah. I remember I got a Diet Coke. I do remember that. It was the fucking most expensive Diet Coke in the world.
All right, we should say, audience out there, we don't necessarily agree with any of these views, but so what do you guys think? Any red flags for you on a date or any comments on what you heard?
That's so funny. I got called out for like eating really loudly once. Clearly we are not dating that person, but like I was eating and then just looked up like, you eat so loudly. And then I was just like... Okay then.
Wait, is that on a first date? On a date?
No, but it wasn't like a first date. It was like a few days in, and then he was like, "You eat so loudly." And I was like, "Right."
That's a red flag.
Yeah,
red flag.
I would say, if I was on a date and if somebody said that somebody else ate like a pig, that's a red flag.
He calls women pigs.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
Yeah. No, there's yes. Yeah, no, we are definitely not condoning any of the sentiments from our guests here, but yes. All right. So let's see. Next question. Let me see. Next question was, can you think of a non-sexual turn-on? So something that turns you on other than like, nothing sexual, just something simple. Here we go. Do you have a non-sexual turn-on?
Yeah, I don't know. I want to say like, just like being confident in general. I feel like that's a good thing that helps you out.
All right.
Well, could it be something physical? When guys have their veins.
Are you a nurse yet?
No. I love it when like a guy can like flex his arm and then I see his veins. And I just forewarning, my boyfriend does not have this. I just like it.
What is it about that? It's not about the size of the muscles or anything. It's just the veins.
It's just like when they're flexing, you can see their veins prominently show up. I don't know why. Okay. I like that.
Back
muscles.
What about the hand on the steering wheel?
No, and like back muscles also really nice.
Really?
Yeah, back muscles are really like I don't even care about the 6-pack. If you have a back muscles, that's better for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Because like if you're hanging off a cliff, he could pull you
Exactly.
up.
Like when someone when I go to the gym, I like to look at guys do the pull-up machines. It's like, yeah.
I'm trying to think why that would be a turn on. Maybe because the only thing I can think is if you're hanging off a building and you're hanging on his feet or something, he could be able to pull you.
That's a valuable thing.
That is a valuable skill.
No, it's when a guy has to pick up the girl, he's using his back muscles mostly.
Is he?
But
I guess the core. You have to have a good core.
I'm thinking about the upper back portion.
The trapezius, the lats and traps.
It would help me shoulder the burden of my life with his broad shoulders.
He can carry your baggage.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, Brandon, you got a non-sexual turn on?
I don't mind if we are very in comfortable clothes regularly, if assuming we've already started dating. But then when we decide to go out or go on a date, it's nice when they put in the effort to look nicer.
Yeah.
Is that true? Wow. I feel like I'm learning a lot about you. Take some notes.
Jenny, do you have any non-sexual turn-ons?
Non-sexual turn-ons. I think when people like do little things to try to take care of you, that's like a turn-on for me. It's kind of like, it's like weird, right? It's like obviously you should date someone who cares about you, but like it's like to make the extra effort of like doing smaller things, not just like the big gestures. I think that's like a big thing for me.
Yeah. No, I like nice girls. I've always dated girls that are really nice, like that take care of others. Yeah, Nadira, you have a non-sexual turn on?
No, I'll go with the broad shoulders, same as Jen.
Why are we so vain, Nadira? They had some actually.
I don't know, man. All right.
If she winks.
Really?
I like a good wink. Yeah.
Okay.
It means like she's playful, she's she should be more on like the sweet side,
Yeah.
So yeah, like a good little cute little wink, but I'm a sucker for that. I'm like,
I know something that you don't know.
Yeah, it's playful. You know what I mean?
That's a good one.
Oh, thank you.
I think a guy who can just dress really well.
Okay.
Yeah, like they have fashion sense. I think that's definitely a turn on because they know how to take care of themselves. I think that's a representation of that.
So on a first date, if a guy shows up in sweats and a t-shirt, it's like a no-go?
Oh, well, I mean, no. This was a debated thing, especially in the Bay Area. Yeah, sure. I've heard like a lot of first date guys ask girls to go hiking.
Oh, right.
So I don't really understand that concept.
All right. No, fair enough. All right, Carrie, what do you think? Is there a non-sexual turn on?
Non-sexual turn on means what
something that's really attractive to you, but is not about, romance. Like what about a guy would really make you go, wow, that guy is cool?
I think like similar to Lisa, but I like not the clothes, maybe the perfume.
Oh, really?
Like something like it has like a really like good perfume smell, not like
that is always nice.
Yeah, not the strong like a man perfume, but there's another like in the middle of that kind of scent perfume.
Smells good. Yeah.
Yeah, not feminine, not too like masculine. In the middle of that, like he knows what kind of perfume is it. Like he chooses like good perfume, and maybe I'll stop for that.
Okay, all right, that's cool. All right, you guys have any non-sexual turn-ons?
I like a really deep voice, like a really, really deep voice, and I also like fucking love it when I don't have to do like housework. I hate housework.
Yeah, that's what I thought people would say. Stuff like a man who does the dishes or something.
Yeah, no, it's do you guys read that piece on the guy whose wife divorced him because he kept leaving the cup by the sink? Yeah. And then I was just like, I didn't understand it before I moved in. And then like sometimes I lie in it and I'm just like, wow, I think I might kill you over mopping.
How about you guys? You have a non-sexual turn on?
Yeah, I think if they can take care of themselves, including housework and, doing their own laundry, everything, like their home is tidy enough and they can look after themselves, then I think that's like a good thing. Because I don't know, when you're growing up, there's like, I don't know, guys with really messy rooms or, you don't want that. I don't want that.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I would say, the fashion one, I totally related to that one. I think like the way someone dresses doesn't mean they have to wear like head to toe something like a perfect outfit, but the way someone dresses, if it appeals to me, it would definitely catch my eye. And also if they smell nice. I'm really sensitive to smell. And if they smell amazing, like I'll be like, whoa.
It just catches your attention.
Yeah.
All right. Next question is, how do you feel, or would you be okay with your significant other having many close friends of the opposite sex? Okay, here we go. This is kind of more personal. Would you be okay if your significant other had a lot of friends of the opposite sex? Like best friends?
I wouldn't love it.
You would or you would?
I would not. Oh. It's not like a big deal, obviously, but if it's like, oh yeah, these are my closest friends and it's like 15 gals, I'll be like, you know, like I want you to have like guys and girls as your friends.
Well, like, define lots, right?
Oh yeah, I guess. Like if you have like 3, that's fine. But if you have like 8 and you're all like super close, I'd be kind of like, whoa, what's going on?
That's a little much. Yeah. How about you, Nadira?
I'm okay with that. For some reason, Brian really gets along with women, middle-aged women. I don't know how. He's very popular with him at his workplace. So, and one of his closest friends is about the same age, and she was his roommate, and I'm fine with that.
Okay.
If anything, I encourage it. I find that women are more in touch with their feelings, and I think that's a good influence on him.
Are you okay if your significant other has a lot of friends of the opposite sex?
Oh, like man, that's friends? A good question. Damn. What a whore. No, I'm just joking. So it really depends on the person. A lot of this stuff really just depends on the person and your level of tolerance. But put it this way, I dated this chick, right? You know, beautiful, you know, like arm sleeve tattoo, piercings. She was like a dancer, you know. So she looked like she was like, you know, she looked like a K-pop star, right?
Right.
And she had a lot of guy friends, like a lot.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind. It's only what you got to see is how the guy friend is actually
right. You see them together,
interacting.
Yeah,
exactly. And I was like, bitch. I was like, don't you notice this motherfucker is like in love with you? Like what? No.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I know what
you're being that is such small dick energy. Like stop. And I'm like. And I'm like the easiest going guy. Right. I don't get jealous. I can't stand it. Like I'll get jealous, but like I'll acknowledge it. I won't like cause a scene and stuff. You know, jealousy it's healthy. It means you care, but you know, it depends on crossing the line. Yeah. If she is with a lot of guy friends because she obviously seeks attention, you know, and she needs that validation, then you know she's meant for the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can't save her, dog. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, like as J. Cole says, you know, she knows, you know, it's that's what it is. So,
but if they grew up from like elementary school and they're neighbors and they're just homies, you can tell they're just brother sister kind of vibe. You know?
Yeah, but dude, dog, I had so many of my friends that were like that dude. That was asexual. Like the girl saw him as like asexual. Like, oh, he doesn't have a penis. He's my brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, bro, like it can destroy a guy, man. I gotta say, it's always
because he probably liked her the whole time, right?
Dude, I had a friend of mine. He was in love with her like since I think almost elementary school, bro. But he was such a little bitch. And I was like, bro, sometimes you just got to be like more aggressive, you know, like initiate some touch, you know, like make fun of her a little, you know, and then do a nice gesture, you know, confuse the shit out of her. Yeah. That's what it is. But don't be her bitch and be like, oh yeah, I'll do for you. Yeah, whatever you want. Yeah. You want me to listen about your boy problems? No, don't do that. But yeah, it varies like that.
It's hard. It's a hard game to tell, man. All right. We should say that is Ben from the Worst Asian Podcast. Totally on brand if you know Ben. And we should also say out of everyone on here, He's the only one that is still single. Surprised or not surprised?
Not too surprised. Maybe.
Yeah, he has charm at times, but he also has no filter.
Oh my god, in my head, I was like, Ben, stop talking now, Ben, you stop.
Yeah, he goes, like, we recorded like easily an hour. Most people was like 10 minutes, to do these questions. And then for him was easily an hour. Yeah.
Ben, do you ever want to date people again? You have devastated your chances.
Well, hopefully no one he's interested in will ever listen to this podcast. But actually, if they listen to his podcast, they'll hear an earful from him every week anyway. So, is it, what do you think? Possible for guys and girls to be friends when they're dating?
Like, I'm gonna say right now, like, my partner right now, all his friends are girls. And then if I knew this when I started dating him, I don't like it, and I don't think I do it again. Yeah. It's just not worth the drama of having to be like, so why are like the top 10 of your closest friends all girls, and why are you so close to them? It's just like genuinely not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. My partner, he doesn't have any girlfriends, so it's really hard for me to, like, it's easy for me to say like, oh, sure, he can have friends that are female, but I think it really depends on like the girls. That, every time if they're meeting him and they're like in their hoodie and like no makeup and they're not like trying to attract him, then I'll be like, oh, whatever, like, all good. But, if she's coming like looking cute every time in front of him, or like
flirty
or like crossing the line, whatever that may look like, then I think that will be sort of in the no zone. So it really depends on the girl, I'll say. Yeah.
I think when you see them interact, you can kind of tell. You can tell which friends are homies and which friends are like, you can tell that she or he might have other intentions. So the last two questions are, is it possible to go from best friends to lovers? Why don't you guys comment first before we get to the recording? What do you guys think? Is it possible for someone to be best friends with someone and then switch to lovers?
I think so. I think it's so possible. Yeah, I definitely think so. Like, you just don't know what can happen in life, and feelings change. And if you're so compatible as friends or as best friends, then of course, like, why not? Like, I think it can definitely happen.
Yeah, and maybe it was like a timing thing. Like, maybe when you were friends, you were dating other people, but you always liked each other as friends, and they're not, bad looking, like. And then maybe the timing just worked out, and like someone, made a move or something. It's like, you already know them so well. But then it's also so scary to risk ruining that friendship. Yeah. But I think maybe it's possible.
Like a double whammy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it ever worked for me, but I've heard of it happening. Sorry, Teddy, you're going to say something?
No, I was going to be like, you see, this is why I don't like it when the person you're dating has like a best friend of the other gender, because the switch is way too easy. I think it's really cute when you're best friends and then you date, but then like if your partner has like a best friend who's like, I'll be like, why didn't you just date her if she's your best friend?
No, it happens. It's not just in movies, it happens sometimes. All right, let's hear what people had to say. Is it possible for best friends to transition to dating? Is that something that you've ever observed or that you can see yourself doing?
Jenny and I knew each other before we started dating, and we were pretty friendly, so I guess
All right.
Would you say you were more acquaintances, or were you like just friendly, or what was it?
Were we best friends before we started dating?
Best friends?
Best friends.
I would consider us best friends.
That's true.
Yeah, I think we were. I actually didn't like Brandon that much.
Well, you ruined my answer now.
I'm just kidding. We were friends, but I would not say best friends.
Okay. All right. I don't know. I don't know if I could see that happening. But someone said that it only would happen if you probably did like each other this whole time.
I do think it can happen if like it's the right time and right place. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like when you're young and you have like friends who you're like, if we're not married by 45, we're just gonna marry each other. You know, I feel like it's one of those things.
True.
That's funny. I had this is kind of spicy. So I in my friend group, okay. So I know I'm not gonna mention their names, obviously, but they're friends. And they said that to each other, like, if we're not 30, let's marry each other, right? But the guy ended up getting engaged to her best friend instead. Yeah, so it's kind of wild. Yeah, so I'm just like, it's kind of wild. So I mean, and in this case, I think they were friends. Like, so he was friends with both of them. So
yeah, I mean, it's fair game.
So
right?
technically, it is friends to lovers, right?
Yeah. And I mean, it wasn't a guarantee. It wasn't a promise.
Yeah.
Right?
So I think that's why it was like, that's still fine, I think.
Have you ever seen it done?
Not that I can think of. I would say it's possible. Oh, actually, I take that back. I think I do know one person who they're currently still in the dating phase. So I don't know if it's going to work out in the long term, but so far it's going well.
All right. But they know so much about each other,
really
right?
Tough. Yeah. I think it's tough in general, but definitely like from regular. I don't know. Best friends might be tough, but just friend
acquaintances.
I feel like that's pretty common, but it's hard to like go from. So you'll have to come back to me on that because this couple I'm thinking are still in the dating.
The data is still out there.
Is this like a opinion for yourself
sure,
or like for general?
Yeah, either way, you can answer it anyway.
I don't believe in friends turning into lovers for myself.
I think it's hard.
I think it's like, dude, if the attraction is there, it's there. If it's not there, it ain't there.
It's hard to just switch it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree with Lisa.
But that's more of a me thing. I know people who date their best friends, but like
I don't know how I would. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know how you would go from that transition. Yeah.
Because there's so much to lose at that point.
I know. Yeah. But at the same time, you know them very well. You know a lot about them. So I could see why it would happen, but I don't know if I could ever do it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard.
All right. Is it possible to go from best friends to boyfriend or girlfriend?
Oh, hell yeah.
Can you make that transition? You can do it?
Yeah, bro. That's the best, I think. I think that's what everyone wants, actually.
I don't know. The rest of us said it's not doable.
From best friend to like romantic lovers and shit.
Yeah, it's hard to make that switch, right? You think it's doable, though? Huh?
Well, I think
it's great if it works.
It can, man. And you know what? Like I know there's stories of that kind of shit out there, man.
There is, yeah, for sure, it happens.
But I think so. Maybe I'm assuming. Can I ask you like who was your panel that you asked? This as well?
That was Lisa and Carrie.
It was Lisa and Carrie.
Yeah.
I could clearly tell that they were just also just completely not sexually attracted to them. That's a big thing, probably.
Yeah. That's what they were saying. They were saying if it wasn't there, it's not going to be there. So you're saying that if you were best friends, but secretly you might have always liked each other, then you can make that switch.
Yeah, because you know, I'll even throw this in there. Sometimes I think it's hard when friends are attracted or attractive people or whatever.
Right.
I think then that gets hard, but then that can lead to like a romantic, longevity kind of thing. So I disagree with you, ladies. I think.
Yeah, no, nothing wrong.
Yeah. That's a good question, man. I like that.
All right. So yeah, I think the range there, people could go either way on that one. I think it'd be interesting if it ever happened, but I don't think I've never experienced that. All right, last question for everyone was, what's the biggest age gap you would ever date someone?
Ooh, that's hard.
Is it a hard one? It depends.
I think it happens when it happens. So, like, because I never thought I would date people younger than me before, but you realize like when you talk to guys, it's not about their age. It's really about like how they think as a person. So I've met younger people who are way more mature than like guys who are older than me.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. How about you, Carrie? What's the biggest age gap you would ever do?
So my brother is 4 years younger than me. So
can't be younger than him.
Can't be younger than him. So maybe a maximum 3 years younger than me. Above also maybe 3. I think 4 would be too much gap. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It's personal preference, right? Like.
Yeah.
I am the worst person to ask about age gap because I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's about the power relations, right? It doesn't matter if they're 30 years apart, but if there is like some sort of equality, then it's not a problem for me.
Doesn't it depend on the age of the person though? Like when you're 15, your age gap should be very narrow. When you're 20, it should expand a bit. When you're 25, it should
within the legal framework.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, when you're 20, I feel like it should.
It's like stage of life.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you're 40, go plus 20, minus 20. I don't care. You do you.
Like I have a problem with Leo DiCaprio and his dating history because, that seems to be an internal issue that he's not working through. Like I have a problem with that.
Yeah, a little.
What's the age he drops everyone at? 25?
25, yeah. We just talked about it.
I'm getting dropped this year.
Same.
You're turning 20. Yeah. So Jennifer, what's the biggest age gap you would?
Well, I would answer based on my current age.
Oh yeah.
And then my answer would change when I hit
Yeah, if you're 99,
if I'm 99, different. My age gap is like 80.
50 years, yeah.
I'll date 19-year-olds.
Right. So as a 25-year-old, would you go plus 10?
I would, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, I would not go minus 10.
Right.
Because I like that's borderline insanity. But I would
you go minus 5?
I would actually go plus 15. That's
plus 15
at 25.
All right. But would you go minus 5?
No.
Yeah, because stage of life, he's still in college.
That's a hard no. Yeah. Even if they just graduate college, that's a no.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Jenny, what's the biggest age gap that you would do?
I think plus 10 and then minus like 2. And it has to be a rare individual. Like, I don't think,
Again, but if you're 45, you might reassess that, right?
That's true. Yeah, like the age thing. Like at my current age, I would date someone a lot older, but like I wouldn't date someone like that much younger,
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. Brandon, you have an age gap in mind?
I think it depends on obviously my age. Let's just say that I was 35. I think I'd be comfortable with someone maybe 20, 25, 26.
Yeah.
Why did you pick 35? You're like nowhere near 35.
It's kind of an average. Yeah.
Well, like if I'm 40 or 45, then dating a 25 person, then it's
yeah.
And I think it also depends on how much money I have too.
Right.
Can you justify it?
Andy, you there?
Oh yeah.
What's the biggest age gap that you would do if you're dating someone?
Biggest age gap. So I guess plus 3 older than me, and then if it's younger, then it would be probably like 3 or 4 years younger.
All right,
very narrow range.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus or minus 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Last one. What's the biggest age gap that you would go out with?
Ooh.
Up or down? Up and down.
Oh man.
Right? You're right in the middle. You're kind of like mid-30s, right? So you could go...
I am 35, yes. I am 35.
So you could go... How far down?
Oh, man.
I'm keeping it legal.
Oh, my God. Don't go David Bowie or R. Kelly. We're
not going Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah.
You know, it's funny. The running joke for the longest time with our friends, including Lindsay, was that they're saying, "Oh, Ben's like Leonardo." As soon as they turn 25, he dumps them. And I didn't realize it until the motherfucker said it. And I was like, "You fucking piece of shit!" I was like, "Bro, I'm heartbroken." You know, like I'm like going through a breakup. He's like, "Yeah, you did it because she's 25." I'm like, what a shitty ass friend, man. I was like, "Jeez, man." But let's see, the oldest. I definitely dated a woman in her 40s.
Okay.
Yeah. She lied about her age. So
but you go 6 or 7 years up, maybe.
I'm not lying, bro. If she looks good at 45, oh
yeah,
fuck it. Yeah, man. If she got it, she got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like look at Halle Berry, bro. You're telling me you wouldn't? I mean,
fair enough. No.
Yeah. But youngest, I'm older now, but I remember I'll be honest, I don't know, it's because it's like ageism or older, but especially dealing with younger people, I can't stand it. Just the way they talk.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'll just read the Bible. Like, please, for the love of God. I'd rather read the fucking Bible at this point.
Then talk about what the 21-year-olds are talking about.
Yeah, man. And like, they're always on their phones. So the youngest, I guess, I would say ideally would be probably like 25, I would say. Under that, then it's like, when you're 20 to 25, 18 to 25, you are so different from 25 to 30 than 30 to 30.
Yeah, you don't even know who you are.
Those 5-year increments are so crucial in growth. So
I agree.
Yeah, so I'll do opposite Leo. I'll date them after 25. But when I was younger, I guess I was being Leonardo DiCaprio without knowing.
All right, guys, what do you think on your age range? Teddy, what would you do?
Oh my God, Ben's dating life is wild.
We need more into that.
Yeah, we need more.
Yeah, I think he has an episode this week. Actually, if you go to the Worst Asian Pod, you can hear more about his dating life. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So I always start. Do you guys have like this formula? So if you're a dude, it should be divided by 2 plus 7. But yeah, so like that's the youngest that you can date. Yeah, but then when I do the math, it's like a 21-year-old should be the youngest and a 70-year-old should be the oldest. And I'm just like, I'm not going to date a 21 or like a 70-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, I think I would go like much older, like maybe like 10, 15 years for up and maybe like a couple years for down.
Yeah.
But they have to be like very special people, because like if I'm going to introduce this dude that looks like he could be my dad to my friends, he better be pretty fine.
Yeah. How about Jules? What do you think?
It was so interesting hearing everyone else's answers.
Yeah,
and I think it really depends on your current age.
Right.
For me, I'm 30, 3? Am I 33? 34. I'm 33. Oh, I'm like 40. Would I date a 40-year-old or would I date a 21? Okay, I can't go like 21.
Yeah.
Like, has to be over at least over 25, I would say. I think the easiest answer would be like, you know how there's like different generations, like Gen Z, millennial.
Stage of life, yeah.
I don't think I could date like a baby boomer, or you know what I mean? And I think like within my generation is probably like the safe zone for me. Yeah. Otherwise, I think we'll just be on different wavelengths. Just kind of what Ben was saying about like it's hard to talk to young people. I think like it'll be frustrating for them as well. I think.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That's
Rox?
an interesting way to look at it. The same generation. But I think if I'm looking at my age now, it's kind of like plus 10 or minus 3. But then when I was younger, I thought plus 5 max, you know, but then now my like husband, he's actually 7 years older. And I thought, like, you know, plus 10 isn't that bad. Or plus 8 to 10 isn't that much. So I think it just depends. Yeah.
Yeah, my wife and I are 8. And at first, when we were younger, it seemed like a bigger deal. And then as we're getting older and we're both hitting middle age, it doesn't seem to matter as much at all. Yeah. So I think a decade. I feel like a decade would be a limit in a way. It's kind of maybe more of a psychological limit than anything else. But I feel like if you're born in a different decade, it's kind of it gets to be kind of tricky. All right, guys. Do you have an ideal? Can we come up with an ideal first date? What would be an ideal first date for you guys? Indoors or outdoors?
Is the weather good?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
weather.
that's true.
Yes,
Yeah.
weather.
You don't want to outdoor first date in Singapore. You don't want that.
Because you're either sweating too much or it's raining.
Yeah, it's either like you're hot or you're wet. There is no in between. You can't do your hair. But if it's like in the Bay Area, that's kind of nice sometimes. Or if you're like in like a nice fall, it's a nice outdoor thing. Yeah.
There's always something to look at and always something to comment on if you're outside.
Yeah.
A little more casual in a way.
If you're like at a restaurant, you just have like each other to look at, which I guess is the point of the date. But then it gets, like the awkward silence on the first date where you have like pauses in between things that you're saying. And you're just like, fuck, do I come up with something to say or do they say something? And it's just like, ugh.
Yeah, it's a little too much pressure in a way. And then if you do something like, a show or a movie or something, then you're not talking at all. You're just sitting there. So I don't know if that's the ideal either.
I think maybe like just a coffee somewhere, like either afternoon or morning. Because I feel like drinks could lead to stuff that you don't want to, I don't know, drinks could, I don't know. I just think drinks have, guys or girls might have different expectations of where that might go.
Yes.
And then I feel like a meal is too formal for a first date. Like
big commitment.
Yeah, like I might not want to have a whole meal with you.
3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, but whereas like coffee is like, it could lead to the next thing. Like you could have a meal with them after it's going really well.
Yeah.
So it's more casual, like less scary.
Yeah. Because like sometimes a restaurant might be too quiet, but then sometimes like a bar would be too noisy. So I think cafe is kind of nice, level of noise to be able to talk, but not awkward quietness. Yeah,
maybe, but I don't know if that's like boring. Like,
I think that's a good one because it's kind of like if you're having a terrible date. You can be like, okay, great coffee, see ya.
Yeah.
But if it's a great date, you can be like, oh, do you want to go for a walk after? Like you can extend it. So that's pretty ideal. Yeah. I think with my answer, I was gonna sort of piggyback off what Teddy said, like the weather. I think anything that's whatever the weather is, it has to be like suited to that day. So I don't want to go on a hike in a blizzard. I don't want to go on a picnic on a rainy day, like something that suits the weather at the time. Like if it is a really nice spring day, a picnic will be amazing. If it's really cold, something cozy, by the fireplace might be nice. Like, I don't know, I'm all about the vibes. So I think that'll be my answer. Whatever is like suited to the current season and weather.
Yeah. I do like moving too, as opposed to like if you're sitting there and you don't have anything to say, it feels super awkward. But if you're like taking a walk or something and you don't have anything to say, it doesn't seem quite as awkward.
Yeah, no, and you can like point out things and then you can see their reaction to like filter them. Yeah.
What do you guys think of a bookstore date? Do you think a bookstore date is a good first date?
If that's like a meeting point, I think that's a good meeting point. And then you could, figure out what to do next or something.
I think
it's kind of cute.
Yeah.
You go to the bookstore date and like your date is there and he has like the anarchist cookbook and he's like, here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, maybe not that, but yeah, you can do a little research, right? You can find out what they're interested in a little bit.
That's true. You can
say,
oh yeah, you like art, or oh you like the
travel,
music, or
cooking.
Yeah. I thought when you said bookstore, it's like romantic. I was imagining like one person's on one side of the shelf and the other person on the other side, and then you take out a book and then you make eye contact and like the light's like streaming through the window. I think it's pretty romantic.
Yeah.
You can find out if someone's a reader, or you find out if someone doesn't read anything else.
Yeah.
Do you have a first date story?
Maybe one I can think of that didn't go well was the idea of the date was dinner and then a movie. And we went to dinner, but the guy didn't order anything. But it's dinner time. So I was hungry and we're at this restaurant. So I'm like, okay, I'll I'll eat something. But then because he didn't order anything and he didn't eat, he just said he ate before or something. And then we had to watch the movie. It was like such a drag, and it was already a turn off. So I was like, okay, I'm glad this movie is over. Like, I need to go home now.
So why didn't he eat?
I don't know. It was just weird.
That's so weird.
Yeah. And then, that just threw me off. So
that is weird when you're sitting there eating and someone's just sitting there watching.
Yeah, it was really awkward.
That's really awkward. Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, Curtis, do you have any first date stories?
You want the one that actually worked? So, Viv will disagree with me on this one, where she said that it wasn't a date. So so my sister throws these events. She's a food planner, so she does these events. So she had one in San Francisco, and it was all these top chefs in San Francisco, and it's at this pavilion, and they have these booths, and you just basically, once you get a ticket in, you walk around, unlimited food and unlimited wine and all this stuff. And so I thought this would be my sister has the hookup, so I got the tickets for this. And so I invited Viv. But I think I told her that it wasn't a date. I said, okay, just to let you know, there's this cool thing, but it's not a date. Just something I think you might enjoy. But she thinks that she said that she let me know that it wasn't a date. So we disagree on that. But in the end, it turned out really well. We were walking around. But one thing I forgot was that my sister had gotten my parents tickets for the same night. So we were there, and so it was literally our first time out, and so she met my parents on the first night. It's like I can imagine that she was a little mortified, meeting someone's parents on their first night. But my parents are cool, so it wasn't like a big deal. Like, they didn't make a big deal. We just bumped into them. But yeah, it turned out pretty well. After that, we did do other actual dates after that. But that was the first time we hung out. So, what about you, Teddy? Got a first date horror story or first date success story?
So the thing is that, like, after my college, I went on a little Tinder spree because I had no job and I had nothing to do. Then I was like, oh well, why don't we just date people for a bit and see whether they can fill the time until I get a job. Mm-hmm. And then the thing is, so I was talking to a couple of guys, and then one night I was out, and the guy was like, oh, it's because the clubs are all in the same area here. And then he was like, oh, I'm actually at a bar that's right next to the club that you're at. And I was like, okay, why don't we have a little hi? It's not like a first date, but we'll see each other in person. And Curtis, I got catfish so bad.
No.
His Tinder photo was hot. His Tinder photo was great. He had abs. He was tall and good looking.
Oh, no.
And then out comes this middle-aged fat. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with fat, but he did not look like his photo. And I was just like, are you a 35-year-old man with a college photo on your Tinder? Come on, bro. No.
Oh man. Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, and my friends were with me because they were like, we're not gonna let you go out to just sit have a drink with this random dude. We are gonna come and we're gonna bitch about him.
Yeah.
And then they were like, it was really bad. One of my friends was like, is it that fatty? And then I was like, oh
oh no, it can't be.
And then so I think we both blocked each other on Tinder afterwards. I hopped on and I think I probably blocked him immediately, and then he probably blocked me because clearly it was not nice to be called that outside.
I guess I don't understand catfishing because at a certain point, they're going to figure it out, right?
No, at some point you're going to meet and then it's just going to...
Yeah.
No, I think it's my winning personality that likes to lie about how I look charm them before they actually have to meet me in person.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess I just don't see how they would see this happily ending,
Yeah.
Do you think they're in denial and they think, oh yeah, that's me just 10 years ago, but I still have the same face, but maybe he's in denial. I don't know.
It's like, what do you mean, catfish? This is me.
I guess to some people it doesn't matter how the body looks, but I'm like so superficial, guys. I'm so superficial.
No, it matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, there has to be some attraction there, yeah. All right, guys. Well, I hope everyone out there learned something, what to do, maybe what not to do, or maybe what not to say on a first date. Any closing comments, you guys?
Happy Valentine's.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Yeah, I hope everyone gets to, I don't know, sometimes it can feel a bit lonely on Valentine's Day. So I think no matter where you are, I think you can always have fun and treat yourself and, have a good time. So just sending out positive vibes out to whoever's listening.
Who cares, guys? It's just another Tuesday.
Yeah, sure.
Go out with your friends, have some fun, go have a meal by yourself. Who cares?
Yes.
Yeah. But hope you had fun. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you to my guests in person here. We have Jules, Rox, and the famous Teddy Teo. Thank you to all the people who are on the recording. We have Carrie and Lisa. We have Ben from the Worst Asian Podcast. We have Adam from Die Hard Fishing, Jenny, Brandon, and Andy from Poacher Playlist, and of course all my other friends like Jennifer, Nadira, Lisa, and Carrie. So thank you everyone for chiming in on that. Do you have any stories? Go ahead and send it to us at infatuasianpodcast@gmail.com. Hey, give Rox and Jules a listen over at Asian Soup Podcast. You can get that anywhere you get your podcasts, and you can find them on Instagram at Asian Soup Podcast. And you can listen to more of Teddy on A Briefcase Podcast. She is found wherever you get podcasts and also on Instagram at A Briefcase Podcast. But so thank you, everybody. Thanks, Jules. Thanks, Rox. Thanks, Teddy.
Thanks, Curtis.
Thanks,
everyone.
Thanks, Curtis.
And as usual, thank you all for listening out there, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.